say, hey, you can't miss what you never had. Hey, hey, off the juice, God and me got you bad. Got boo, all got bruises missing. Ice, lemonade, my neck was too bad.
Oh, baby, nah, that ain't gonna work.
Hey, what's... Oh, wait, yeah, okay. So, you guys are probably like, hey, yo, wait, stop right there, Aizawa. What the fuck is this? This isn't What If Deku? Gasp. Well, I felt like doing a What If Naruto because recently I've been watching a lot of What If Narutos. And I know that I have some fans who probably haven't watched Naruto, and I mean, if you're watching this, you can learn the story of Naruto. I mean, like, not really learn it, but I mean, kind of hear the rough edges of it, since this story is going to be a bit different. Obviously, it's a what if. But, you know, or you can just click out and then wait for me to upload another video. I mean, but you might enjoy this, so maybe stick around. Maybe, you know, give me a chance. But, you know, for those of you who probably only watch What If Narutos, which is pretty common, hi, I'm Aizawa. I usually make What If Dekus, but I'm trying something new. Yeah, so, let me get into the video now. This is What If Deku, or fuck, What If Naruto was the brother of Obito. Or was Obito's brother, however the hell you want to say it. Part 1. The way I want to start this off. So, Minato and Kushina will still be Naruto and Obito's parents. Well, not really still be Obito's parents, but will be Obito's parents. Obito won't be an orphan, for yet, I mean, kinda. So, the way the story is gonna work, everything's basically gonna go to canon for most part, like, up to, like, Obito, like, before Naruto's birth, everything still kind of goes to canon. Minato doesn't unlock the Sharingan because plot reasons, alright? Shut up. I can't have Minato getting the Sharingan. Minato is gonna be the Uchiha. Kushina is going to be in Uzumaki still, all that stuff, alright? So basically, everything goes up to canon, up to, you know, Obito's death and stuff like that. Madara has to work a bit harder to convince Obito to join the bad guy side. You know, all that stuff. God damn, my house is loud. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm just gonna get up real quick. And then I'm gonna throw something in the way to make the noise muffled up a bit. Alright. Noise might be less loud, but I'm going to try to go towards a corner so that the noise isn't so loud. Alright, yeah. This is super unprofessional. But, you know, I never called for professionality. I just do what ifs for fun. So, like I was saying, this is What If Deku was Obito's brother. Everything goes about the same. Nothing really changed. Obito's a bit happier. Obito's a bit stronger. That's about it. Other than that, everything goes about the same. Until Kushina gets pregnant. And if you're wondering, why didn't Madara attack the first time? He didn't have nobody to attack with. He didn't have any useful people to attack when Obito was born, so Obito was born perfectly fine. But the thing is, now he got Obito. And, you know, Obito's at this point, like, on that crusade right now. So Obito doesn't care who he has to kill, even if it's his own parents. So, you know, right now it's the Nine Tails attack, or a bit before then. Obito, you know, he comes in the room all gangster-like, and, you know, he basically yoinks Naruto, and he's like, give me the Nine Tails, you know, Minato, Uchiha, you know. Basically, not many people know that Minato's an Uchiha, because, for one, he kind of hid his heritage, because we'll say that, we'll just say that Minato didn't think that he could become Hokage if everyone knew he was an Uchiha, because, yeah, that's actually legit. Because who would vote an Uchiha as Hokage back during that time, am I right? Tobirama would have been furious. But basically, yeah, nobody really knows that he's a new Uchiha because, for one, he has blue eyes. He still has black hair, but he has blue eyes, which you never see a new Uchiha with blue eyes. So basically, he's like Minato Uchiha, and then Minato's like, Nani, like he's like, how the fuck he knew? But of course, Obito knows his own fucking heritage. So Obito basically, he's like, he just kamois out of there with Naruto in hand, and he's like, so this is my little brother. He's looking down at him. Naruto's smiling, which Obito's like, weirdo, like weird kid, but he's smiling because he's in his brother's hands. All right, he loves his brother, even though his brother is about to do some shit. So basically, everything happens, Minato snatches Naruto back, and then Obito grabs Kushina, ties her against the pole and shit like before. Don't even think anything weird, alright? I hate y'all for thinking that, nasty bastards. But, he still does that, all that stuff. All that stuff basically goes up to canon until, like, when Minato does a Rasengan and hits Obito dead in his back, he hit Obito harder. For one, he's Uchiha, so basically, plus, this is a slightly flamed enhanced Rasengan since he's been working on it. Plus, Uchihas have fire style off rip. So when he hits the ground hard. So like his mask cracks a bit, Obito's face gets revealed a little bit, Minato's like Obito, and Obito's like, yeah, now I can't let him live. Shit. So, he goes for that slash. Minato TP's out of there. Obito took a lot of damage. So he kamois out of there too, but he's stronger because Uzumaki. So basically Minato gets to the area, he's doing the Death Reaper seal, and he's telling Kushina, yeah, the masked man is Obito, all this stuff, right? And he can't really get to anyone because right now he has to deal with the Nine Tails. So he immediately starts doing the Reaper Death Seal, right? And he seals the Nine Tails within Naruto, just like in canon. For plot's sake, we'll still say half. Actually, do we want to give him the full Nine Tails? Nah, we're just gonna give him half. So basically, Obito, he's walking over. Minato and Kushina, they're both, alive still, because they still have that little bit of time. Kushina sees Obito, and like his mask is still a little bit cracked, and nobody's nearby because nobody's as fast as Minato, because he's Minato. So basically, they Obito's like, do you hate me and stuff like that for all this? Immediately with all the strength they have left, they jump and hug Obito. They're like, we don't hate you for this. We know you have some sort of reason behind it. And, we love you. You're our son. And they're like, we just ask you one thing. Just please don't kill Naruto. And, Obito, he's surprised because he was expecting them to just hate him. He was expecting them to be like, you failed us, you're a failure. But no, they love him. They still do. And they still care about him deeply. And, this like hits Obito hard. It makes him like reconsider everything for like a split second, but he's like, no, I need to do this. This world's corrupt. Because like, even though everyone says Obito did it because he's a simp for Rin, alright, first, yeah, but also no, because he didn't just do it for Rin. He did it because he wanted peace or something. I forgot why, but I know it wasn't just for Rin. But Obito, he's like, he's crying a little bit, but he does hug them back because he does love them. He didn't do this out of hate. Like, he didn't do this out of hate whatsoever. He doesn't hate Kushina, he doesn't hate Minato, he doesn't hate Naruto. But he did this because he has a belief, and he's going to follow in that belief. He wants everyone to be happy and no more war. And that's why he's going to cause the infinite Tsukiyomi. I think I remembered why. Yeah, so that's what Obito believes in. He believes that, putting the world in the infinite Tsukiyomi will bring true peace and all that stuff. Like just like how Madara isn't a bad guy. I mean, like, yeah, he's a bad guy, but he isn't like a bad guy. He doesn't want world power, world control. He wants peace. That's literally his whole thing. He just wants peace. His way of going about it, not the best, you know. He could have not decided, okay, peace can't be achieved normally, so infinite Suki no Mi. Like, you know. So, you know, he basically just like, he's sad because he did this. And, you know, he thinks about grabbing Naruto and just taking him away now. But then he's like, I mean, we don't even have the one tails, or like the one tails, because they call them one tails, even though I wanted to say one tail so bad. He's like, we don't even have the one tails yet. What's the use of getting the nine tails? Basically, that's what he thought. So he's like, all right, and he just Kamui's out of there. And then, you know, Kakashi runs up on the bodies, and this hits Kakashi hard. Like, imagine, because like before, Obito died, and he felt awful about that. Like, even worse than in canon, because that was Minato and Kushina's son. He felt like he failed them. He felt like he failed Obito. Then Rin died, and all that shit happened. Like, Kakashi feels god awful. And then now that like everyone's dead, like Kushina's dead, Minato's dead, Rin's dead, Obito is dead in his eyes. There's just Naruto. And now, unlike in canon, he's not. He's like, fuck that. He's like, fuck all this bullshit. I'm not letting them touch him. Like, I'm not letting anyone touch him. That's what he doesn't know yet that everyone's gonna go after him, but like when he figures it out, I mean. So he immediately brings Naruto to the Hokage, or the third Hokage, Hiruzen, and he's like, what happened, you know, yada yada yada. And then Kakashi's like, Minato sensei, he's like, I mean, the fourth Hokage has died, sir. And so has his wife, Kushina Uzumaki. Because Kushina's still in Uzumaki. And, you know, Hiruzen, he's hurt by this. He's saddened. And so I'm pretty sure Jiraiya got there, like, after the battle happened. Which, Jiraiya, like, hates himself at this point. Because, you know, I'm going to say that Jiraiya kind of trained Obito a little bit, but he didn't get to do it as much since, you know, spy business. So he also feels awful about this because Obito was his student, and then Obito died, and then also this shit happened to Kushina and Minato. So now they both feel like obligated to watch out for Naruto, but he's like, it's the council, you know, we gotta do this, we can't do this because the council and all this stuff. Because they're like, hey, the council thinks that, you know, if people see you two hanging around him, they might get suspicious and learn that he's the son of the Black Flash. Which, you know, yeah, I'm going to call him that, even though it sounds racist. But basically, they're just like, okay, you know, like they're like, all right, but we'll watch out for him. Like, you know, he like Jiraiya's like, I still have my spy organization. I can't really do anything about this, Kakashi. Kakashi's like, I'm going to be an Anbu captain, so I can't really watch out for him too much, but I'll try to do my best for him. Which, you know, it'll do okay, I guess. So basically, Naruto grows up in an orphanage for a while. Then after he hits around the age of 4, in the orphanage, they don't like him. They're like demon fucks because, you know, Hiruzen did announce that this boy was what sealed the QB and all that stuff, and what has saved the village. But, you know, villagers are idiots who don't know the difference between a kunai and a sealing scroll. Yeah. So basically, they everybody hates Naruto still. Everybody hates him, and then plus, like, I mean, Naruto, he got the red hair from Kushina. He got the blue eyes from Minato. Basically, they don't say that he's an Uchiha, because, you know, Uchihas get extra hate. So for one, the Uchihas will want to claim Naruto because Naruto is a Jinchuriki, and having a Jinchuriki on your side, especially like when you plan on revolting, kind of gives you like a lot of leeway. So for one, like they don't tell like the Uchiha that he's an Uchiha. They don't tell Naruto that he's an Uchiha. Like, Naruto doesn't know his roots whatsoever. He thinks that he's just some no-name clan child, you know? No name, no clan type thing. So basically, after that, Naruto grows up for a little while, he gets kicked out of the orphanage. The Hokage, he's pissed about that, but he can't really do too much because he has his hands tied. He wants to force Naruto to go back to the orphanage. For one, Naruto doesn't want to go back. For two, the council are like, nah, we can't force him to go back. Just send him to the streets or something. And he's like, no, we can't do that. Danzo's like, why don't I just take him to like my Anbu thing? And, Hiruzen's like, no, I'm not allowing you to take Naruto and put him in your what's it called, Anbu thing, because he's a Jinchuriki. You want to brainwash him. So he's like, yeah, Danzo, he backs off because Hiruzen was actually like serious about that one. After that, Hiruzen decides, all right, we're just gonna give him his own house, his own apartment and stuff. Basically, at this point, Naruto is about 4 years old. He's been learning stuff on his own because he's had no one to teach him anything. So he's not the brightest in the bunch, but he's not dumb in any way. Basically, Naruto, he goes to the library a lot because he has nothing better to do. Nobody wants to hang out with him. He has no friends. He tried pulling pranks, but then he got beat up bad one time, and he was just like, you know what, I'm not doing that again. Basically, he was like, nah, fuck that noise, alright? Because the villagers just jumped him, like, how dare you do this to the Hokage faces? So, yeah, he got beat the hell up. After that, let's say, what happened? I have to look up a character's name. I'll be back. Alright, and I'm back. Okay, I found the character's name. It took me a little bit. I had to do a bit of research, but stuff happens. I'm still contemplating on whether I should do this or not, so I'll think about it and I'll ask you guys if you want that to happen. So yeah. Now what's gonna happen? I said that Naruto always goes to the library. He's always reading. He reads up on shinobis because he knows that he wants to be a shinobi just so he can leave the village, basically. Like, get out of the village as much as possible because, he knows everyone hates him and doesn't want him around. He has a little apartment still, just like in canon, all that stuff. Kakashi's been a bit busy with Anbu missions, so he hasn't noticed that Naruto is, going through hell. Basically, one day, Naruto is just chilling out, reading books in the library, and the librarian is like, oh, it's you again, brat, get out. He kicks him out. Basically, Naruto's kicked out, he's on the street. It's dark that time because he didn't pay attention to the time of day. Usually, Naruto goes home by the time it gets dark, because when it gets dark, it gets dangerous for him. But, this time he got a bit sucked into his book. It was about, we'll say Madara, I guess. So it was about Madara, so he was like, that's a cool jutsu and stuff like that he used, because it describes everything that he did and stuff. So, not Deku, fucking Naruto, he was just like, he was lost in the book, and then he lost track of time. He looked outside, he saw that it was dark, and he got kicked out, so he was just trying to get home without getting noticed. But while he's heading home, he walks past a bar. This drunk guy is like, oh, it's the demon brat. He throws a bottle. It misses Naruto barely. But, it, like a lot of people are like, oh, the demon brat? Like, people are popping out of corners. Like, oh, it's the demon brat, stuff like that. Out this dark, out this late, And, maybe we should get him back and, avenge the 4th Hokage and stuff like that. So basically, Naruto's like, what do you mean avenge the 4th Hokage, this, and that? He doesn't get it. And then, now the mob's chasing him with, a bunch of stuff. So, Naruto's running as best as he can, and then, he runs past a few shinobis. Naruto's, screaming for help and stuff like that. But, the mob is faster than him, one, because he's, 4 years old? And then, what's it called? The shinobi see that, Naruto is getting chased, and, instead of stopping the mob, like normal shinobi would, they're like, they join the chase. And now Naruto doesn't really have a hope. He had maybe a chance of running before, but these are actual trained shinobi, even if they are just, genin. So basically, they catch up to Naruto. They have him in a corner, and then, everyone just starts beating him up, right? And, Naruto, he's crouching, like, he's in, like, a ball position, basically, and he's trying to protect his face and stuff like that. And they're just beating the hell out of him, not gonna lie. And then, after a while, they lose interest, and they walk off. Naruto's in the alleyway, he's crying to himself. He's just like, why me? What did I do? Like, I didn't do anything. I didn't hurt anyone. I didn't kill anyone, because they keep saying, this is what you get for killing my brother, my cousin, or that, because, a lot of them lost family during the QB attack. So, they're all just like, yeah, this is what you get for killing my brother, my cousin, all these people. Naruto's like, I didn't kill anyone. I didn't hurt anyone. He's crying in, like, the alleyway. While he's crying, his vision starts to go red. Everything around him is reddish. Like, he can still see everything, but it has, like, a red tint to it. A red color to it. And he's like, what the heck? And then he gets up with, like, barely any strength. He starts limping over, and he sees, like, a window. And through the window's reflection, he sees, like, himself, but he sees these glowing red eyes. He's like, what in the hell? Like, that's what he's wondering. And, Naruto, he's like, what in the heck? And he blinks, and then he opens his eyes again, and it's gone. He's like, I must be imagining things. So he basically gets home, and then he just goes, he doesn't even get to bed. He closes the door and just falls on the floor, and then falls asleep. This is basically Naruto's life, except for the beating part, usually, until, like, basically, the only time Naruto gets really beat badly is during the time where the anniversary of the QB attack. And, we'll say that Kakashi was just getting back during the anniversary, during, like, one of the anniversaries of the QB attack. So we'll say Naruto is, I don't know when they start the academy. We're gonna check. Alright, back again. Ninja started about, like, 8 years old in the academy. That's what it said. So, what's it called? We'll skip to when Naruto was 6. Yes, he got this beating when he was 4. So, we'll skip to around when he's 6. And it's, the festival of the QB attack, also Naruto's birthday. Technically, since he was born that day. Basically, today Naruto's hiding because everyone's looking for the demon fox, as they say. And, Kakashi's walking back into the village because, he's an Anbu leader. He just finished a mission, so he's walking back into the village. He has a dog mask, right? And he sees, like, these people all with these weapons bearing arms, and he's like, what the hell's happening? Like, a revolt or something? He goes over, he's like, hey, what's going on? He's like, oh, an Anbu, you should help us. We're looking for the demon brat. And, Kakashi's like, demon brat? Like, you mean Naruto? Like, he knows, like, that everyone calls him the demon brat, which he thinks because Naruto pulls pranks or something. Maybe, like, a bad demon, which even then the name is kind of very close to the Nine Tails, which is a death sentence if you tell anyone. So basically he's like, hey, calling him that can get you executed, remember that. And they're all like, yeah, it doesn't matter, it's just the demon brat, either way, we're looking for him, like, where is he? Kakashi's like, why are you looking for him? He's like, and they're like, they look at him like he's stupid, they're like, don't you know what day it is, he's like, yeah, the time where the QB was released, which most of the reason why Kakashi didn't notice, one, he was either out on a mission, or, like, this day specifically, he always, like, stays at the grave a lot, like, all day. Basically, they're like, yeah, what's it called, like, we're looking for the QB brat to beat him up, like, what else are we gonna do? That's what we do every year during this time, like, and a lot worse than we normally do. And Kakashi's like, wait, normally do? And a lot worse? And, like, they're like, a few guys are like, come on, man, like, don't you know? Like, we always beat on that demon. Like, that's what he gets for killing, not only the 4th Hokage, but our families. And Kakashi, he's pissed. Like, he's about to he's about to go full Itachi on these people, right? But, you know, he refrains himself because he's an Anbu. He's calm, collected. So he's like, I'm not telling you where he is, even if I did know where he was. And then he storms to the Hokage's office, and then, you know, the Hokage is dealing with a bunch of paperwork, which basically distracts him from what's going on. You know, he's like, Hokage-sama, you know that this happens every year. Like, he tells him about it, and to be honest, the Hokage didn't really know about it. Like, he kind of realized that the villagers, like, might beat him up. But, like, what's it called? He always reprimanded the villagers. Like, he was always like, hey, you gotta pay this fine for hitting Naruto. You know, that stuff. So he thought that, you know, not many people did it. He didn't really check during this day, especially since he had a lot more paperwork. But what's it called? Once he told Hiruzen about it, Hiruzen's like, what? You know, he checks his crystal ball, and he sees that Naruto is like, not even hiding in his house. He's hiding in the forest. He's like, what the hell? Why is Naruto, you know, not in his own house? You know, Kakashi's like, I don't know, I just ran straight here. So they run over to check on, like, why Naruto isn't in his house. Naruto's apartment is on fire. Like, it's burning down. And, you know, there's people out there, like, celebrating, like, yeah, Demon Brat should be dead, you know, yada, yada, yada. They're all yelling this out. You know, Hiruzen, he is furious. Like, everyone just feels this sort of killing intent coming their way. And it isn't just Hiruzen's, it's also Kakashi's. Which, Kakashi has a lot of killing intent, but, you know, Hiruzen is the third Hokage. He's seen and done some shit. So, you know, basically, like, his shit overpowers, like, Kakashi's pretty easily. But Kakashi basically adds on to the fear factor. So all these citizens immediately just drop to their knees, drop all their weapons, drop everything they have. Hiruzen's like, I'll extinguish the fire, you go find Naruto, right? So you know, Hiruzen does a water jutsu, gets to extinguishing the fires, and, you know, Kakashi runs over to the forest to try to find Naruto. Naruto is currently hidden inside of a hollow tree, like, just, like, shaking out of fear, because he can hear it all. He can hear all these people. He even saw his house get burned down. That's why he ran to the forest. He wasn't home at the time because he was just running around alleyways trying to lose people. Basically, after that, like, Naruto is just hiding. He's just chilling out there. And then, like, Kakashi, he senses, like, a faint of chakra. So, I mean, it's not even that faint because he's in Uzumaki. So, you know, he goes over there and he's like, hey, are you okay? You know, Naruto's like, wait, don't hit me, please. You know, he's crying. He's like, please don't hurt me. Yada, yada, yada. He's like, please, I didn't do anything. I didn't kill anyone, please, you know. He's crying. Kakashi, like, lets his hand out. He's like, I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm here to help you out. You know, he takes off his mask because he has no reason to wear it. He's like, I'm Kakashi. What's he called? I'm a shinobi, and I'm here to help you out. And, you know, he's like, you can trust me, right? You know, Naruto doesn't even really trust shinobis that much anymore. He's like, but why don't, you know, you go to beat me like the other ones? Like, there are some Anbu that help him out sometimes. That's why he's not, like, immediately running from Kakashi. But, you know, there are also some Anbu that hurt him as well, which those Anbu will get fired. Basically, after that, Kakashi explains, like, yeah, I'm Kakashi, I'll watch your back, I'm not here to hurt you. And, you know, Naruto goes into, like, Kakashi's arm, and he immediately falls asleep, because Naruto has been scared all day. Like, he hasn't gotten sleep since, like, the start of the day, and it's already dark. Like, the moment it hits 12, he is up, and he is ready to run. Because that's how early they come after him. So, basically, like, Kakashi body flickers all the way to the Hokage's office, because he's not trying to get rushed by a mob. Like, yeah, now we kill him, and, you know, Naruto gets scared and run. So, he just body flickers to the Hokage's office. The Hokage went back because, you know, he saw in his crystal ball that Kakashi had it. So, you know, Kakashi lays Naruto down on the couch, and then he's like, Hokage-sama, listen. I'm not going to let, you know, Naruto live alone now. He's living with me. But, you know, the Hokage is like, but what if, you know, but, like, the council will say no. He's like, I don't care. We can just use the fact that these people burnt down his house and were trying to kill him. And they're like, but he's like, but they'll use the fact that you're an Anbu captain against you. He's like, then I'll quit. Like, you know, he's willing to do that much for Naruto right now because he has ties to not only Kushina and Minato, but also, like, Obito. So, what's it called? Now, like, he's like, he's like, all right, starting today, Naruto Uzumaki will live with you. And Kakashi's a bit confused because, you know, he knew Minato's an Uchiha, so he's like, why don't we call him an Uchiha, like Minato? I mean, like, even though Minato didn't call himself an Uchiha, he called himself Namikaze, because he was still a Namikaze, or he's like, why don't we call him Namikaze, like Minato? He's like, for one, we can't let anyone know that he's related to Minato. For two, if the Uchiha clan knew that they had a Jinchuriki on their side, I don't know what they'd do. So, you know, basically, he's like, alright, yes sir, and then he takes Naruto home and then immediately, like, lays him down on a bed and sits on the couch and waits for him. We'll skip to the next day. Kakashi fell asleep on the couch. Naruto was in the bed. He woke up. He looked around. He's like, this isn't my room. This is a lot bigger than my room. So, you know, he walks downstairs. He sees Kakashi just slump on the couch. You know, he starts poking him because Kakashi's still wearing his mask. He's poking him. He's like, sir, like, what, like, you know, he's like, mister, are you okay? Because he does no manners, because, you know, he still was friends with Ichiraku and also the Hokage, so he's like, are you okay, sir? And, you know, Kakashi wakes up, he's like, yeah, I'm fine. He's like, are you hungry? What do you want to eat, kid? He's like, usually I only eat ramen, which, you know, Kakashi's like, do you want to eat ramen? He's like, can I get something different, please? Which, I'm going to make something happen that you're going to understand very soon. Alright? This will be a good twist on Naruto that I heard once and I liked. Alright? So basically, like, you know, Kakashi was making Naruto eggs. He ate up all that stuff, and Kakashi's like, man, so I'm Kakashi, you know, Hatake. What's your name? He's like, I'm Naruto Uzumaki, which he was still told of his name. Like, Naruto Uzumaki, and, yeah. So basically, Naruto, he's just like, so why didn't you help me out? Like, why didn't you want to hurt me like all the others? He's like, well, because I'm not an idiot. And then, you know, Naruto's like, oh, thank you, sir, you know. You can just call me Kakashi. That's what he tells Naruto. So he's like, alright, what, do you want me to do anything, Kakashi? He's like, how would you like me to train you, kid? You know, just a little bit, not too much. Which Naruto is like, I'd appreciate that, sir, and, you know, he bows. Because, you know, Naruto is respectful. He's like, no need to do that, kid, you know. After that, like, he's like, alright, today I'm gonna teach you a bit of stuff. So he teaches Naruto about chakra, like, the basics of chakra natures. Because he's like, listen, if Naruto's gonna go out there, he's gonna be able to defend himself. That's, you know, what his goal is. So, you know, he teaches Naruto about chakra natures and all that stuff. And, you know, after a few months of just training Naruto, he does give Naruto a chakra paper, and he's like, alright, let's see what your chakra natures are. Naruto, you know, uses the chakra paper, and I don't remember what the signs are for each thing, so I'm just going to tell you what he has. He has lightning, water, fire, and wind. Because, one, he had wind in canon, fire because he's an Uchiha, lightning because Minato had it, water because Kushina had it. So basically he has almost every chakra nature, which is extremely rare. Kakashi's pretty surprised. He's like, wow. Most people don't naturally unlock, you know, almost every chakra nature. Getting, like, 2 is pretty rare on itself. Naruto is like, thank you, you know, yada, yada, yada. So after that, Kakashi's like, alright, so our first method of training, like, you know, he keeps training Naruto. At this point, Naruto's actually become pretty strong. And even then, whenever Kakashi's out doing missions, because he still has missions, Naruto reads up on scrolls, he learns more, all that stuff. He still hasn't told Kakashi about the thing that happened with his eyes because he thinks it was just a hallucination. So now we'll time skip to around 8 years old. And when Naruto gets to the academy, he doesn't like it whatsoever. For one, there's this big foreheaded, pink haired, loud, noisy, obnoxious person that he hates. Alright? Yeah. He hates this person. He's like, oh my god, they're so annoying. And at this point, the Uchiha massacre has happened, which means that, there's also this emo kid who always sits near the fucking windows and is just like, oh, my clan. Ugh. I think you can all who've watched this anime can guess who. But if you don't know, the pink-haired one is Sakura. Alright, the dark, emo, broody bastard is Sasuke. So Naruto, he walks in there. Everyone immediately, turns their head. It's like, oh, it's demon pride. Yada, yada. There's a few people who don't really pay Naruto mind. There's, what's it called? So, Shikamaru is just still chilling there. He's like, he doesn't care. Choji's too busy eating. I was about to say Shinso. Shino is being just chill, just messing with bugs, which people are avoiding Shino for that. Kiba doesn't really... Kiba would be like, the demon. I don't know how Kiba would be, but Kiba doesn't really like Naruto for now. Hinata doesn't really know Naruto, so she's just shy. And, all that stuff happens. Which, so what am I gonna do? Should I just end it off here? Nah, I'm gonna get to Mizuki. So basically, when Naruto went to the academy, he immediately noticed that he was leagues ahead of everyone. He was like, oh, this is gonna be boring. So, basically, he had that mentality like, what's the point in trying then? If everyone here sucks. So he just... So whenever, after class, he realized, alright, everyone sucks, so from now on, I'm not gonna try at all. So now he just doesn't try anymore. At most, at this point, because he's read through a bunch of scrolls that Kakashi has, he's like, can I just send, a shadow clone there? Really? Which, I'll say that Kakashi did teach him a shadow clone jutsu and tell him about the secret of it. Because it's a useful jutsu and Naruto already has a dumb high amount of chakra. So he's just like, hey, can I just send a shadow clone there? All the time, and unless it's a sparring day. Kakashi's like, hey, it's your school year, you do you, alright? Naruto's like, alright, he sends shadow clones there. And, basically everything that happened in canon for Naruto happens except for, it's his clones there. And he does, not awful, but he's still, he doesn't do awful because he's dumb. He does it because he doesn't care. So, whenever it's training day or whenever it's, sparring day, he does show up. He does get his butt kicked by Sasuke on purpose. He's also been trying to learn more about what happened with his eyes. Since he's been training more, and since he's been, unlocking more about his chakra, he's been learning more jutsus, he has reached the 2 Tomoe Sharingan, which, if you didn't guess already, he already has the first and second, which is why he has the 2 Tomoe. I'm dumb, right? So he has a 2 Tomoe Sharingan, that's how life is going for him. Right now, Naruto is honestly enjoying life, because he lives with his sensei. Nothing can really go wrong with him for now. But, shit happens. So, it's the final day exam, It's a final exam. Naruto goes to school one day, he's chilling there. Everyone's like, Naruto's gonna fail. No one believes in Naruto because they're like, what reason do we have to believe in him? He's been failing all this time. It's like, Naruto's gonna fail, he's gonna get held back, he's gonna get kicked out, he's a demon, all this stuff. So now, Mizuki, he calls Naruto up. He's like, Naruto Uzumaki, go up there and start doing your thing. Naruto, he's like, alright, He makes two, like, no, he makes like 3 clones just to flex. So he makes 3 clones, and everybody's like, what, he made 3 clones? No way, yada yada yada, he's cheating somehow. Because, they made clones over an Eddie gun. So, Naruto, he poofs them away, and Sasuke's like, when the hell could that dweeb do that? Or when the hell could that, like, whatever the hell he calls him, I forgot. Done. What did he call Naruto? He called him, something. I don't know. What's it called? What now? What the fuck do I do now? Sorry, I'm trying to think. Alright, so yeah, basically after all the testing, Naruto got his headband, and after everyone's going, Naruto's just chilling out in the training area, because why not? He's bored. Then Mizuki walks over to him, he's like, hey Naruto, you're not fully a shinobi yet, you know that, right? Naruto looks at him funny, he's like, what do you mean? He's like, well, we have this little mission where you have to steal the secret scroll from the Hokage's office. Everyone has to do it. We're just, assigning you to do it first. And then Naruto's like, oh, okay. In his head, he's like, wow, he thinks I'm dumb. And, after that, like, Naruto, he's like, this guy really thinks I'm that dumb. That's crazy. Like, wow. So he's like, alright, yeah, I'll get the scroll for you. So Naruto, he goes, it's late at night, he tells Kakashi about what happened and that Mizuki is most likely a traitor. Kakashi's like, oh, Mizuki? Like, you mean the guy who was like barely Chunin level? He's like, yeah. He's like, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. You got it. Basically, Naruto's like, alright, he goes in there, he yoinks the scroll, and, he goes to the forest. Everybody's like, oh my god, Naruto did it, because, this time, not because Naruto pulls pranks, but because everybody's like, Naruto's a demon, he'd be the only one to do it, they're all pissed. So they all, basically everyone's looking for Naruto, and he's still really cool with Iruka. Like, he's still got that brother relationship with Iruka, but, he has more of a relationship with Kakashi than Iruka. So after that, what's it called? What was I gonna say? What is gonna happen? Yeah, Iruka is gonna find Naruto. Naruto is just chilling in the forest. He's reading through the scroll of sealing. But, like, right now, he's like, alright, you know what? He pulls it close to his face, turns on his fucking Sharingan, and just starts going off. He starts reading all that shit. Which, most of it is either useless, not very easy for him to do, or just sounds like a haggle. Like, reanimation, he's like, I don't really, nah. But he learns it all because it doesn't hurt to learn a jutsu. That's what he thinks in his head, Orochimaru mindset. But, no. Basically, after that, Naruto, he's just read through the entire scroll. And then, he hears Iruka coming, so he just deactivates the Sharingan immediately. After that, Iruka, he comes over, he's like, Naruto, why did you steal the scroll sealing, He's like, oh yeah, Mizuki-sensei told me to do it, He's like, wait, what? Mizuki-sensei told you to do what, Basically, while that's happening, like, a bunch of kunais get thrown, and, Naruto dodges that shit easy. Iruka gets hit, like, in, like, his shoulder, his clothes get grabbed by it, and he's pinned against a tree. And, Naruto, he's just watching this unfold. He's like, yeah, I'm here to get you, demon brat, Which, Naruto's just, like, chilling out, right? He's just watching Mizuki. And Mizuki, he's like, give me the scroll, brat, yada, yada, yada. And then Iruka's like, no, don't do it, Naruto. Naruto, he's like, I wasn't planning on giving him the scroll either way. I'd be dumb if I did that. And, Iruka's surprised by this, but then Mitsuki's like, you know what? How about I tell you why the whole village hates you? Which, Naruto, his ears are picked up for this, right? And he's like, why do the villagers hate me? I actually am interested in this, right? And then, Iruka's like, no, you can't tell him. You can't tell him. It's the secret for a reason, And then now, like, Naruto is even more interested because that means that it's true. Whatever Mizuki's about to tell him, it's going to be true. So Mizuki, he's like, you're the nine-tailed fox demon that, you know, that killed everyone, including the fourth Hokage. And, you know, Naruto, he's shocked. He's like, wait, what? I'm, you know, he's like, even though Naruto's smart, he knows that he's the Jinchuriki, if anything, but he's like, I'm the Jinchuriki of the nine-tailed fox. Like, why wasn't I told about this? Why didn't, you know, Kakashi Sensei tell me, or why didn't, like, Kakashi tell me about this? Why didn't, G-san, or Gigi-san, whatever the hell he calls him. Why didn't Gramps tell me about this? Like, that's what he's thinking all in his head. He's like, what the hell? Why wasn't I told about this? So he immediately just starts running, just like he did in canon. And just like before, he's getting chased by Mizuki. And, you know, the same shit happened. Mizuki still does the shit that happens. Iruka still does his shit. And, you know, Mizuki's about to kill Iruka. And then, like, Naruto's like, hey, bastard, you know. And then Mizuki looks, he sees Naruto in the tree. He's like, oh, you fool, why would you not run? Oh, you have the chance. And then, like, he looks around, and there's a bunch of Naruto clones. And he's like, wait, what? No way he learned a jutsu. And, you know, basically all the clones start doing hand signs. He's like, what the hell? They're all like, fire style. Great fireball jutsu. And they all, like, you know, shoot a fireball at him. And, you know, Mizuki's surprised because, like, these are C-rank jutsus, and all of his clones are doing it. So that gives you an idea of how, like, dumb high Naruto's chakra is. So, you know, basically Mizuki gets burnt to a crisp. Like, you know, put that nigga on a barbecue burnt. Like, it's good. Basically, after that, Naruto, he basically goes over to Iruka. He's like, Iruka, are you okay? Iruka's surprised because not only did he do the Shadow Clone Jutsu with that many people, he also did the Great Fireball Jutsu, which is normally an Uchiha type move, which, I mean, Kakashi most likely knows it. That's why I gave it to him. Plus, he is Uchiha, which Kakashi knows. Which, Kakashi doesn't know that Naruto has a Sharingan. For one, because Naruto didn't tell him. Naruto learned what the Sharingan was through reading. He knows about the stages. He doesn't know about fucking Mangekyou, because that would be dumb if he did. And I'm not letting him unlock Mangekyou for a while, so no. Like, he will not be doing all that shit for a little bit. And, also, for his Mangekyou ability, you guys comment, like, what do you want it to be? What do you want it to be similar to? Like, I know it's definitely gonna be, like, something like Kamui, but tell me, like, do you want him to be able to, I don't know, fucking, do you want him to be able to phase through shit like the Flash, but still be able to grab people with his other eye? Like, I don't know. Be able to create, like, just fucking, you decide what his fucking Mangekyou ability will be. You know, after that, they take the scroll back to the Hokage's office. You know, the Hokage's like, thank you, yada, yada, yada. And, yeah. I'm gonna leave it off here. Like if you guys want me to continue this, alright? If you guys don't like it, then just, I don't know, don't like it. And then just be like, hey, stick to one thing, weirdo, alright? And, if you guys do say that, I'm gonna cry a little bit. But, you know, anyways, hope you guys have enjoyed. Peace out. Later.